So I was checking out this story where they're saying that U.S. missile stockpiles, specifically Tomahawk missiles and interceptors, I think it's called missiles. There, according to this article, America is running low, and that would be something. Then I watched another report, and they were saying all Iran has to do is to hold out, and if they can hold out the lack of oil around the world and Israel and America using up their missiles would put them in a very, very strategic position to negotiate and bring uh, the devil back to the table. That would be a really, really powerful turn of events, but it's not that simple. Think of all the loss and all the suffering that Iran would have to endure if they were to hold out, let's say, 5 months, 4 months, or even 3 months. Think of all the hell they would have to endure and the rebellion of their own people. This is why Trump is trying to run game, and he's trying to convince the people to rebel and overthrow the current leadership. And they don't have much of a leadership there in the first place. Every time they get somebody in charge, that person is killed or assassinated. So this is very interesting, and how this is going to play out. A lot of people are confused. One group says one thing, another group says another thing, and everybody basically has opinions, and I don't believe everybody's opinion is accurate. My opinion is we don't know. We don't know. You can sum up a conclusion if you want, but is it 100% correct, or is it even 50% correct? All I know is that it's in God's hand. And one thing I do know, it affects not just the people in Iran and Israel, it affects us here in the Americas as well. Finances stem from here all the way there and back and forth. Everybody is networked together as far as business. And if there's a ripple effect in your economy, it affects the people, it affects business, it affects, everyone's livelihood, it affects health. And this is why I say you just put it in the Most High's hands. Check out what this guy's saying. I'm not going to be very long. Got to go back to work, but check out what he's saying. I found this very interesting. What he's saying, makes a lot of sense. Check it out.
So we need to talk about something uncomfortable, and let me hit you with the part they don't want you to focus on right now. In just a handful of days, America has managed to do something that should be impossible for a country that spends around $1 trillion a year on defense. We're already talking about running out of weapons against Iran. Not eventually, not, hey, if this turns into a long war. We're talking about right now. The kind of shortage that forces the White House to drag the CEOs of the biggest missile companies on Earth into a room and basically say, hey, stop everything you're doing right now. We need more, and we need more yesterday. Reports right now that the administration is meeting with top defense contractors at the White House, specifically because strikes on Iran are diminishing U.S. stockpiles tremendously, especially.
This could make sense. Shalom, brother. Shalom, shalom, shalom. A significant strain on Tomahawk cruise missiles and advanced interceptor piles due to heavy usage in the Middle East, particularly during operations against Iran. So this war, America can't afford to stay in but so long. But here's the thing. The same thing plays out on the Iranian side as well, because they are a lot less, I've read, in position of stockpiles of missiles than America. China can't bring any weapons in there for them now, not while all this is going on. And they're pretty low too, extremely low from what I read. So it's just a waiting game. But what I've also read and saw is that if Iran can hold out for a number of months, they have a fighting chance to bring the powers that be, the white man, the great Satan of America, and the little Satan of Israel, to the table and discuss terms that would benefit Iran. Shalom Alaikum. That would benefit Iran. So that would be a good thing for Iran. But the thing is, how much punishment and losses will they sustain or take, rather, in 1 month, 3 months, 5 months, if it goes that long? How much punishment can they take? Or how much loss can they take? That's the thing. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of what this guy was saying.
So we need to talk about something uncomfortable, and let me hit you with the part they don't want you to focus on right now. In just a handful of days, America has managed to do something that should be impossible for a country that spends around $1 trillion a year on defense. We're already talking about running out of weapons against Iran. Not eventually, not, hey, if this turns into a long war. We're talking about right now, the kind of shortage that forces the White House to drag the CEOs of the biggest missile companies on Earth into a room and basically say, hey, stop everything you're doing right now. We need more, and we need more yesterday. Reports right now that the administration is meeting with top defense contractors at the White House, specifically because strikes on Iran are diminishing U.S. stockpiles tremendously, especially long-range munitions like Tomahawk missiles. Think about that. And of course, interceptor missiles, which are being exhausted by Iranian attacks. Of course, you won't see this in the mainstream media. For whatever reason, the mainstream media is ignoring this. There is a blackout, and even CNN yesterday admitting that the Israeli government has told them that they are not allowed to show incoming rocket attacks. Aaron Burnett on live television admitting that.
Go up there. We're not showing you that because we're not going to show, the Israeli government does not allow us or want us to show where that may have come up, that interceptor.
So all that to say, the most powerful military machine in human history is not calling a meeting because it's winning too hard. We just love winning. It's calling a meeting right now because...
See, this is where I bump heads with a lot of brothers. Because a lot of what he's saying is making absolute truth. But at the same time, the hate against Trump is so strong, you don't know if it's political when they make points. And that's why I said 3 days ago that this is where you got to use the Most High's wisdom. You got to step out of the white man's wisdom and worldly wisdom and use the Most High's wisdom. Now, we know we're in the last days. We know we're in the Most High's judgment. I'll just finish discussing this with a brother. But is this World War III? Because I see brothers already saying it's World War III, and then brothers get mad at you when you say it's not World War III. It's like, remember when we got into the thing with Jacob's trouble? A lot of brothers was teaching that we're in Jacob's trouble, and we're not in Jacob's trouble. Because when you read the scriptures as far as Jacob's trouble, we're out of here. We're out of here right in the midst of Jacob's trouble. The Most High, he delivers us. But brothers, sometimes I don't know how their brain works or what they're reading. This is why I get a better understanding of a person can swallow a camel but strain at a net. Strain at a net. I'm simply saying put it together properly. Nobody's saying that the Most High's judgment is not real. Nobody's not saying that Esau, the white man, won't be judged. But just put it in its proper perspective so you don't look stupid next summer or this summer. Because if this passes and Iran flips and folds, rather,
then you're going to be looking for the next judgment and saying that's the end of the world. And you're going to forget all the crap you said in this war, or all the judgments you expounded on as far as this being World War III. If this passes over, you're going to forget that you said it, or you're going to look stupid, and to hide it, you're going to say it's the last days. It can't happen. And that's not right, because like I said yesterday, you're giving the people false hope. You're not giving them the proper hope. The scripture says the race is not to the swift, but those who endure, sorry. So if you got people running to this finish line, World War III, Iran, Trump, Israel, destruction, and then they have to run until another goal line or another finish line, that starts to wear a brother or sister out, man. That starts to wear a brother or sister out. Remember when brothers were saying that Obama was the last president and he wasn't? Now they're saying that Trump is the last president. Suppose Trump is not the last president. Suppose Trump is not the last president. So I'm just saying, I like to pace myself where I can still go to camp and not fall out like so many brothers have in the past. I like to pace myself where I can keep high holy days with the brothers and sisters and not fall out like so many brothers have done in the past. I like to pace myself where I can pay my bills, drink some yayan, watch a movie, and go to camp the following Shabbat and do it all over again. At least I'm still in the fight, whereas so many brothers, they lost patience and they're no longer in the fight. You understand? You understand? So I'm just saying you have to be very smart now. You have to be very smart, because this is a strong possibility. But am I going to sell the farm, the matzahs, and the menorah on this? I can't do that. I can only put 1 and 1 together and make it equal 2. But I'm not going to stretch it. I'm not going to be a fool. This is why the Most High says, get wisdom, but with all I getting, get what? Understanding. He didn't say get more wisdom. He said get the understanding of the full package, and certain things we got to wait and see how they play out. Now, initially, Trump was saying it was going to be 3 days, and he went to 2 weeks. Now he's saying a month. It might be a month. It might be 2 months. But we have to wait and see, because it's the Most High's judgment. You can call all the scriptures about what's going to happen in the Middle East all you want. It doesn't necessarily mean it's right here and now. It could be months from now in the Middle East. It could be a year from now in the Middle East. We don't know. All we can do is put it together the proper way. Now, if you see something that brothers and sisters don't see that's in scripture that backs up it's next week or next month or 2 months, then if it makes sense, then we roll with it. But to put all your cards on the table, you just look like the false prophet you are. It says interceptor shortage. The U.S. is facing a more acute shortage of defense interceptor missiles such as the Patriot, the THAAD, THAAD, and the SM-3 used to shoot down incoming threats. Analysts warn that the U.S. could run low on these interceptors faster than Iran runs out of missiles. That's possible. That's possible, but it could be a lie too. Because you got the haters that hate Trump, so they're going to make him look bad. Plus, we got the midterms coming. So they want the left wants control of the House and the Senate. So I got to consider that this might be overkill to make him look bad, to get him out. Or it could be the truth. It could be the truth. I'm just saying you got to think. You got to think and use your head. Now look at this, because I don't have much time, but now look at this chick now crying. She was so pro-black. She thought she was standing on God's mountain, and now she's crying like a baby. Like a baby. Most High has ways of doing things, man. You could be at the top of the world. I know she was feeling herself at some point. I know she was feeling herself, but you can be at the top of the world one day, and the next day the Most High take you out. Now she don't have no job. No job. Check it out. She sounds completely different than she did when she was in power. Check it out.
Jasmine Crockett was so upset after losing her Senate bid to James Tallarico that she wept.
No one
Look at her.
I gotta get through this. 6 years ago, no one believed.
I give her one thing. She wasn't married to the damn white man, though. I give her that. You don't see her with the white man having white cubs. I give her that. But she was too boisterous. She was too over the top, and she didn't play her hand right. She didn't play her hand right. And let's face it, brothers, these sisters are not for us, man. The majority of these sisters, especially in politics, they are not for no damn black man. And you know it. But at the same time on Facebook and social media, I saw a lot of brothers backing her. I saw a lot of brothers backing her. And I saw a lot of brothers calling her an idiot, too.
That I could become a state.
So upset after losing her Senate bid to James Tallarico that she wept.
No one. I gotta get through this. 6 years ago, no one believed that I could become a state representative.
And 6 months ago, no one believed you could be a senator.
Her own people kicked out or shited on her. They wasn't feeling her anymore. And I'm just saying, man, listen, man, you could be at the top of the world one day and everybody's patting you on your back. You got yes men surrounding you. And the next day, the Most High will remove you. Will remove you. It's just that simple.
Hopeful that voters in Texas rejected Jasmine Crockett, this whole ghetto shtick that people are doing. That influence is starting to wane in the political sphere. There's enough Americans, black and white, that have had enough. The influence of commercial rap music is starting to wane in America. This ghetto-ness, we have to be tolerant of it. We have to pretend like it's a part of diversity, equity, and inclusion, allowing this ghetto-ness to influence our culture. I think America is over. I think Jasmine Crockett is done. I think Cori Bush is done. I think Jamal Bowman is done. Moving forward, Americans are going to expect more from black politicians and black people than just, hey, show me how ghetto you are. I'm glad that's over. We should feel hopeful that voters in Texas rejected Jasmine Crockett. This whole...
So I'm just saying, man, be careful what you say and what comes out of your mouth. Because we're supposed to be the priests of the Lord. And technically, we're servants of the people. Our job is to serve the people, the will and the spirit of the Most High. So be very careful in what you say, because the haters, they're out there, man. The haters, they hate us. They're already banging on us for this year 2000 thing, even though that's done and gone 26 years ago. But I say it all the time. There's nobody out there doing it like you brothers. Nation of Islam, done. Moors, done. Nubians, done. Christians, done. Regular bedsheet Muslims, done. So don't count yourselves short, but don't be stupid and overstep your bounds, because Jasmine Crockett was full of herself. Let's face it. In our book tells us to be mindful of not being puffed up. In the Apocrypha, it says the greater you are, the more humble you should be. So be very careful as far as how you represent the Most High, or how you are an ambassador of the Most High. And mostly defend the gospel. Defend the gospel, because in the New Testament, it says to defend the gospel. Here in Isaiah, it says, 54 verse 4, it says, fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed. See, this is our day. And the Most High is with us. If the Most High is with us, who can be against us? But the Most High says, and be not ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth. See that? We're going to move on, man. So all the mistakes that our forefathers made and what we made in the past, we're going to forget that, and we're going to move strong in the Most High. And we're going to hope that this is the Most High's judgment. We're going to hope that this is World War III. And we're going to hope we move spiritually into Jacob's trouble. Because right now, the white man, he's in trouble. The so-called small hat JEW people, right now, they are in trouble. And it's the Most High that's bringing heat on them. And it says, and and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. So we in that time, man. Right now, we should focus on the Most High's judgment and the glory that's promised to all 12 tribes. For thy maker is thy husband, the Lord of hosts is his name. See, so we're the wife or bride of the Most High, and God is with us, and he's our caregiver, he's our husband spiritually. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth shall he be called. See, right now, they don't respect the Most High. They respect PD Fields, if you know what I mean, petties, chesters. They respect thieves, cutthroats, liars, cheats. Look at Jeff Epstein in Sex Island. Look how Hillary Clinton was lying her ass off. Talking about she never met the man, not once in her life. She never did business with the man. And the man's girlfriend was at her daughter Chelsea Clinton's wedding. The man had been in the White House 16 or 17 times. The Clinton Foundation gave them money, the Epstein clique money, a couple of times. But they lie. They lie because they're fighting for power. They're fighting for a position in this earth, and they're trying to maintain themselves in this earth. They oppressed the hell out of those Palestinians over there in the east. Iran used to be cool with America. And then America gave poisonous gas and weapons of mass destruction to Iraq. And Iraq used that same weapon, used those same gases on the Iranian people and caused thousands and thousands of Iranians to die. And Iran hasn't forgotten that. They haven't forgotten that. So what do you think is going to happen? Huh? They're going to want payback because their children were killed. Let me see if I can find that real quick before I go. People got short memory, man. Around 19, tens of thousands of. Let me see if this is it. I don't think this is it. Let me see. Let me see if this is it. Make sure I got my mic is up before I do anything. All right. This whole devils is just ridiculous. During the 1980s to 1981, during the 1980s to 88, Iran-Iraq war, Iraq extensively used chemical weapons, including mustard gas and nerve agents like taboon and sarin against Iranian troops and civilians. The campaign started around 1983 to 1984, resulting in tens of thousands of casualties, and is considered the largest chemical attack against a civilian populated area in modern times. It doesn't say that America gave it to them, but I did get a report that America gave them this gas. Internal response, despite international condemnation, particularly from the UN confirming the use in 1984, the U.S. and other nations initially failed to significantly sanction Iraq because they were supporting Iraq. Same thing with bin Laden. Bin Laden was connected with the CIA as well. So these people, they lie. They lie constantly. Shalom, my brother. You are done? They pit each other against each other, man. Same thing with the Bloods and Crips. The Bloods and Crips were initially a political organization. The CIA and the government made them into murderous beasts and turned them against each other. So this man, he has a history. He has a history of evil and pitting people against each other, or selling weapons to one group to overthrow that group, or destroying a country and putting a puppet dictator or puppet leader in that country that does the bidding of America, and America benefits. So I'm saying, slow down. Slow down, because these dudes are fighting against each other. A lot of what you're reading is attacks on Trump. And a lot of things that Trump is doing, he's in the pockets of the so-called small hats, the JEW people. He ran on no war and to settle and squash wars. This is what he ran on. And look at him now. Completely different person because everybody kisses that ring. The Zionists have control of the American government and always has for the longest. And that's the real world. It's just that we're so emotional and unprepared on how the country and the world works. I'm talking about the brothers outside of the fold, not you brothers and sisters, that we get overly emotional. You got people cheering and jumping for joy in Iran when the Ayatollah was killed. You had the same thing in Venezuela when their president was killed because they oppressed the hell out of those people, man. They oppressed the hell out of it. And the world is tired of it. The world wants a change, man. And it's coming. It's coming. Even the devil, the white man, he wants a change. He wants a change. I've met white people while teaching saying that we're teaching the truth. And they're tired of the BS. Not to say they could be saved. I'm just telling you, if someone kicks you in your ass hard enough and long enough, you begin to say, hey, this kind of hurts. Let me see who's kicking me in my ass. And you turn around and you find the enemy. So I'm just saying, slow down, take a breath, and enjoy the ride. For once, it's not us getting kicked in the ass. For once, it's them dying on the battlefield. For once, it's them losing money. For once, it's their empire and their system falling down. I'm out.
Reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th scroll, 6th verse.
Beware the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among God's primates, he kills for sport, or lust, or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours. Shun him. Drive him back into his jungle lair, for he is the harbinger of death.
I found nothing in the cave to alter that conception of man, and I still live by its injunction.